Welcome to Sunday Nights with Odi Fitzgerald. Live conversation and lively debate about what's trending in the Carolinas. This is Sunday Nights with Odi Fitzgerald on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. Now here's Odi.
Well, hello there. How are you? And you are very welcome to Sunday Nights with me, Odi Fitzgerald. On the show tonight, do you believe in UFOs? I'm going to be chatting about the unfortunate and tragic events that happened in New York Harbor last night. And should celebrities stay being just celebrities? I want to hear your thoughts. As always, you can get me on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line, which is 800-905-0989, or you can give me a call on the PhD Weight Loss Talk line. That number is also 800-905-0989. Phone lines are open now. Give me a call coming into the ad breaks. Yeah, as you know, it's me here on my own. I'm on my own in the studio. You can also get me on the streaming channels. Don't forget, I am streaming live, looking down the camera right now. That's on the Facebook 98.9 Facebook page, my own Facebook page, X, and of course YouTube, so you can have a little look at the Irishman saying all the words. Before I start, I just want to say a big apology for not being here last week. A very good friend of mine passed away, unfortunately, and needed to take the night off. So may I just say, take this little small moment, John, rest in peace. Now, as you know, listening to the news today, the former president, Joe Biden, well, he has been diagnosed with a very aggressive form of prostate cancer. According to a statement from his personal office today, it has spread into his bones. Now, unfortunately, cancer is one of those things. It's one of those diseases that has touched pretty much everybody's life. If you've been fortunate that it hasn't actually touched you yourself, I guarantee it has been in your family in some way, shape, or form. I've lost both grandparents to it. So cancer it's a horrible disease. And it's just one of those things that they're always looking for ways to combat it. But prostate cancer is one of those. It's one of the bad ones. It definitely is one of the bad ones. And the fact that it has spread into former President Joe Biden's bones, not a great thing. Not a great thing. Last week, President Biden former President Biden, he was seen to find a new prostate nodule after experiencing some increasing urinary symptoms. On Friday, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and it was the Gleason score of 9, which is it's not great, and that's metastasizes into the bones, as the statement continues. Biden, who is 82, and his family are renewing treatment options with physicians. And the news comes further days after spokespersons for Biden said a former president was recently evaluated for small nodules discovered in his prostate. Now, prostate cancer is very common, and a urologist and a robotic surgeon in Orlando Health and the assistant professor of the University of Central Florida's College of Medicine, his name is Dr. Benjamin Baramhat, and he believes he's involved with the treatment. He says, as we get older, most men are going to have little cancer cells like this in them. Now, one thing, and I've said it before, I definitely have said it before, is that you need to check. Now, I will put my hand up. I am one of them men. I'm one of the guys. Now, there's women across the country, because don't forget, we are available across the country. But there is women across the country right now who are screaming at the radios saying, no, I told my husband he needs to go to the doctor. Here's one for the guys. All right. Just come on. Just listen in here a little bit. Listen to your old buddy Odi. All right. I know he sounds funny with his Irish accent, but just give things a little bit of a check. All right. So I'm 44 years of age. And at 44, There's certain cancers that doctors stop worrying about, and there are certain cancers that they start worrying about. Now, one thing that, pardon the pun, something that's coming up, I'm going to have to do an endoscope at some stage, and they're going to have to, they're going to have to take a magical journey, and I've no problem doing it. I'd rather know if there's anything wrong. I would. I think it's at 45. I think that's the age you are when they advise. Excuse me. Very sorry about that. When they advise that you need to start getting an endoscope just to see, make sure there's nothing up there that shouldn't be. And if there is, that they can remove it and get it worked on straight away. And something for all men, like whatever age you are, because this one can strike at any age, is testicular cancer. Now, I know, again, I have talked about it before, but lads, it's time. It is time that we start checking. It's time that we start looking into it. It's time that we start examining. And there's nothing like, I know a lot of people say, yeah, but what if I find something, I have to go to the doctor? You do. You have to go to the doctor. And just like handiest thing to do in the shower. All right, you go for a shower. Remember previously I talked about not washing my legs in the shower because, I don't wash my legs in the shower. Incidentally, you can let me know, do you wash your legs in the shower? I don't. I let gravity do everything. I wash hair and hot spots. That's it. Wash my hair, wash my head. There's a lot less hair than there was many years ago. But yeah, wash my hair, wash my head. Armpits, body, down to the hot spots. When you're there, have a little check. It's your own body. It's your own body. It's you. It's part of you. Have a little check. Check on whatever's there. And if you find something, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. You go to your doctor. You tell your doctor, you make an appointment, you go into your doctor and you say, listen, little bit concerned about something that I may have found. Now you have to remember that your doctor, right? If your doctor is a guy or a girl, doesn't matter. You go to your doctor. They've spent 7 years looking at bodies in university before they even became a doctor, right? They have seen things. They have seen things growing on people that you couldn't even comprehend. I've a very good friend of mine. He's my cousin. He's a cousin of mine in Ireland, is a surgeon. And some of the stuff he's told me about, you don't have it. I guarantee you don't have it. Maybe you do. But just go to the doctor. Tell him or her, say, look, I found something. You take a little look at it for me. No problem at all. Drop him, jump on the bed. We'll take a look. If it's something that they're concerned about, then straight away they'll bring you in and they'll do a biopsy and whatever has to be done to it. And if it's nothing, if it's something that they're not concerned about, they'll be like, I'm not concerned about that. I'm not worried about that. But they will check it out and they will reassure you and they will let you know that everything's okay. And it's the same for the ladies. Ladies out there, breast cancer is one of the biggest killers. I've lost way too many friends to breast cancer. Again, if you find something, the shower, I cannot express how easy it is to check everything out when you're in the shower. Guys, girls, doesn't matter. When you're in the shower, you're warm, it's warmed up, not cold. Well, not that it's cold, the weather's beautiful outside. You're warmed up, you're in the shower. Just give a little check. Go to your doctor. Ladies, get your mammograms. And guys, check the boys out. Don't miss out on appointments. Don't. It's not worth it. You need to look after yourself. What's it they say? Health is your wealth. So do. Definitely look after yourself. Now, when I come back, I'm going to be talking about the tragedy that happened under the Brooklyn Bridge last night. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WORD. It is the voice of the Carolinas. Hello, my streamers. So, if you're tuned in on the stream, if you haven't been on before, you're very welcome to the stream. During the show, I stay live on the stream. Okay, so when we go to the ad breaks, I stay live on the stream. I keep going nonstop. So if you have any comments, anything, excuse me, I don't know why I'm coughing tonight. Probably because I was cutting the grass and I've got pollen clogging up inside me in my brain bone. Oh yeah, sorry. If you're watching on stream for the first time ever and you want to be part of the action, you can comment live. Get your comments into me. Comment is there, or you can comment in on the text line 800-905-0989. Yeah, everything is open. Everything is good, and you can just talk to me here. And sometimes we have a completely different show on the stream than we do to what goes out, because sometimes there's just stuff, just information comes out in the stream. Sometimes I do research straight away. Anything you need to talk about. My mustache is getting too long. That's why I'm scratching my nose. And my nose is full of snot. It's not great. No. And if you're on anywhere, just give me one of them so I'll know you're here. In the white room with black curtains. I was listening to rock on the way up. This is one of our other stations. I was listening to The Planet. In the white room. On an ad break now. Let me get your thoughts in about what happened up in the harbor last night up in New York City. Dibbidi-bidi. In the white room with black. Yes, I'm feeling rather shirty tonight. Button it up. That looks weird. Shall we do radio? I think we shall. Now, as you probably already heard today from the news reports, unfortunately, there was an incident in New York Harbor last night, about 8:20, about 8 o'clock. Unfortunately, one of the historic Mexican naval training ships was in New York, and it crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge. 2 people died, and there's more than a dozen others who were injured in the event. Mayor Eric Adams has said 21 people were injured, and a Coast Guard spokesperson said early this morning that they were taken to shore via a small boat before being transferred to hospital. Adams, who has previously said on X that only 19 were hurt He said 2 are in critical condition and 2 more sadly passed away from their injuries. Now, you may be wondering why this happened. Well, spokespeople have said that the pilot lost power of the ship. So, from what I believe, the ship lost propulsion. So it was, unfortunately, it was a series of really bad coincidences. Is that the ship lost propulsion. Now, as you know, it's a sailing vessel, so its main form of propulsion is with the sails, obviously enough. It's a very, very old ship. It takes part. I actually saw the vessel in Dublin many, many years ago. It takes part in travels around the world, um, for tall ship events. And as I say, last night, unfortunately, it ended up crashing into the Brooklyn Bridge. Now, you could be wondering how people got injured. And the biggest problem is, have you seen any of our naval vessels, any of the United States Navy, Air Force, all the vessels? You've seen the big Air Force, the big aircraft carriers. Well, you've seen when they're leaving port, when they're going out of the dock, when they're leaving, you have all of the sailors in their lovely white uniforms and they're all standing on the deck. It's a spectacular. It's a spectacle. And they all line up on the deck. Okay. And it's kind of, I don't know the technical term for it. Anybody out there that has been in the Navy, get me on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 800-905-0989. Is it called trooping the colors? Is that what it's called? Is it? I don't know. I don't know what it's called. I know in the RAF it's trooping the color because your standard, your flag is flying, so you're trooping that. I don't know what it's called. If you can get in contact with me and let me know exactly what that's called. But here's the thing: on a sailing vessel, the sailors are up in the rigging. Okay, they're up on the mast. So you have the mast that goes up. You have the big long pole that goes straight up from the deck of the ship right up, and all the sails are on it. You've got the booms that go across the masts. All of the sailors were standing up on the booms. So you had 3 masts, and you had loads of booms on it. And unfortunately, it hit the bridge. It went backwards into the bridge. So the sailors didn't really see it happening. And again, it all happened so fast. The vessel was literally right beside the dock, and as it started to go backwards, it just all happened so quickly. Like the tide was coming, I think, out. No, it was coming in. So the flow of the Hudson was going towards the Brooklyn Bridge, and catastrophe happened. So two sailors have lost their lives. There's 2 more people still in critical condition, and there is 22 people are still injured from that. During the festivities, 'cause it was festivities, it's a massive event when a big ship like that leaves port. So there was 277 people on board, and they all suffered. There was 277 people who suffered from, was watching it and seeing it. The what else have we got here? The information about it. The pilot lost power of the ship, and yeah, the crew members passed away. Chief Wilson from the New York Police Department Special Operations Division said that the collision happened in and around 8:20 last night. That was on Saturday night. Inspectors were immediately dispatched to assess the condition of the bridge. The police sources said. New York City Department of Transportation, the commissioner said that the ahead of the bridge, there was. They said it's fine. It's a strong bridge. I mean, Brooklyn Bridge is strong, and the sails are made out of wood, or the mast was made out of wood. So the bridge is now back open again. Commercial traffic in the area, so that's all of your ships and boats. It was suspended by the Coast Guard of New York. It was established as a safe zone. So that's the thing, is that the Coast Guard and I think the American Navy, there was a lot of people. Everything swung into action really fast. Everything, as soon as the incident happened, there was bodies on the scene. There was people on the scene. There was people from the New York Port Authority. There was the police department. There was the fire department. Everybody got. It's amazing. It's amazing in such a big city, because have you been to New York? New York is absolutely massive, an absolutely massive city, and it's just amazing to think that something bad like that happens, that so many people can be on the scene really fast, like really fast. Now there's videos going around. I what is your thoughts on this? So there's videos going around, and basically the videos are showing you the deaths of two people. Two of the sailors that were up on the mast, on the boom, inside the rigging. There was two sailors who lost their lives. There was many people who have been. There's two people who are in very, very critical condition. They may not make it. Excuse me. And there's lots of people who are injured. Like, what is your thoughts on this? I mean, have we become so desensitized? Which it's kind of an oxymoron, because we get well, we don't get too upset by some stuff that people say or some stuff that people do, but I mean, there's the other party, and I mean, they get their heels all kicked up for no reason. But have we become too desensitized? So if you're watching that video, if you happen to see it on X or on your Facebook feed, I've seen it on Facebook, I've seen it through in and out in lots of different social media outlets. You're watching people die. I hate to say that, but unfortunately, in that video, you can actually see some of the sailors falling from the rigging. Has it gotten to the fact that we just watch it and we just go on to the next video? I mean, I've watched some videos, and I'll be talking about this later on in the show. I've watched videos of police body cams. You find them on YouTube, you find them on TikTok, where you have police that could have to discharge their weapons upon somebody. Now, if a cop has to discharge his weapon, chances are, well, you're doing something you really shouldn't. But have we as a whole in the community, and get your thoughts into me. Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 800 905 0989. Remember, I am live and dangerous. I just think we as a nation, as a collective, as the human race, if it's something happens on the small screen, on the small little screen, on the little computer that you have in your pocket, and everybody has it, that do we care anymore? I mean, we're looking through these small little palm pockets, or palm pilots, or mobile phones, whatever you want to call them, where there's so much information coming to us at a breakneck speed. Can you imagine explaining to your great great grandfather or great great grandmother that we have televisions in our pocket? Hell, they don't even know what televisions are. I mean, televisions weren't a thing back then. But we just get so much overload, so much information, that we look at something and we just kind of like, go on to the next clip. Look at dogs rolling over. Look at cats fighting. Has it gotten to that stage? I don't know. Is it time to leave the phones back at home? You remember back in the day that we didn't have our phones? You know? Your phone was part of the house, and it never left the house. I don't know. I think we're just becoming too, I don't know. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WORD. It is the voice of the Carolinas. Ooh, NASCAR. I have never been to a NASCAR race, ever. I kind of want to go to one. Here's the thing, man. Are all NASCAR tracks not the exact same? I mean, there's circles. I'm just putting it out there. Just put it out there. Don't get angry with the leprechaun. Okay. Yeah, but they're oval, aren't they? They're all oval. They're all. Let's turn to the left. 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 No, I don't mean to be ignorant about it, but I've never been to one. I've heard they're fun. I've heard they're energetic. They're crazy, but I've never been to one. NASCAR. Although I will say I did love the Ballad of Ricky Bobby. If you're not first, you're last. On the stream, here's something that I only figured it out in the last while. See here, look at this. See this? How am I going bald here? Look, loads of hair there, and going bald here. How does that happen? Maybe it's because of my headphones. The race circuit of the Americas, Watkins Glen, which is a road course, but most are ovals. Okay. So the road course, is that left and right? Like, why is this not loading up? Oh, right, okay. I don't need that. In the white room with black curtains on the shoreline. Yes, I was listening to rock radio on the way into work today. Yes, I was not on the pulse last night. I was at a gathering. And I hate to break the news to you, but I will not be on the pulse next week. Why? Because I will be in Ireland. Oh, okay. Trucks would be cool. Oh, let's do radio. And you're very welcome back to the Sunday nights with me, Odi Fitzgerald. On the text line, Odi, very sad to hear about those poor sailors lost their lives in New York last night. Thoughts and prayers going out to them. Thank you very much, Texter. Lots and lots and lots of texts of condolence coming in for the sailors that lost their lives last night. Odi, how exactly did it happen? Yep, it lost power. That's what I believe from the report that I got sent in to me today. Unfortunately, it lost power and collided with the bridge. So it had no propulsion whatsoever. Odi, on somebody else in the text said, Odi, why did I don't know why it lost power. Odi, all the boats, the tugboats that were there, could they not stop it from happening? Again, I don't know, Texter. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Now, have you ever gotten a really, really nice present from somebody? Has somebody ever given you a gift and you're like, you've said it to them? You've said it to me like, oh, this is way too much. No, 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 I can't take this. Have you ever said that? Has anybody ever come to your house for your birthday party or a moving in present and they've given you something just extravagant, just amazing? Well, what I'm doing is what I'm getting around to is how do you feel? How do you feel about the present that was the present that was given to the president a couple of days ago? President that was given to the president? It's Sunday night. It was one of those nights, one of those days. I was out in the sun way too long. It's sunny here in Radioland. No, how do you feel about the fact that President Donald J. Trump was given a Boeing 747 800 series? I'm curious as what you think of it. The Qatari government gave it to replace Air Force One, and they say that it is dismissing the bipartisan criticisms of the. This is what Donald said. He's dismissing the criticisms from the radical left, which is what we're going to do. I personally, I like the fact that he decided to take the Boeing 747. And here's the answer as to why this is why. This is why. I you know how much they cost? You know how much they cost to build? $400 million. $400 million it costs for one of those planes. And it was gifted. Now I know what you're saying. I know you're there here on your Sunday night. It is 8:38 in the PM. It is actually just gone 8:39, and you're here on your Sunday night and you're screaming at the radio. You're driving along in the car or you're shouting at the radio, and your family are going to come in and they're saying, "Oh, why is Dad shouting at the radio again?" Because he's just like, "Yeah, but it's a security concern." Okay. Do you think that the Secret Service are not going to take that plane apart? They're going to take everything out of it. They're going to strip the plane completely. They're going to look at every single component that goes into it. They're going to go to Boeing. They're going to say, "Hey, Boeing, listen, thanks very much for making this plane. I know you gave it to the Qatari royal family, and it's estimated to be worth $400 million. But we want you to just go through it and look at it and make sure that there's nothing on it that shouldn't be on it. No bugs, no listening devices, no nasty stuff, all that kind of stuff. Just can you just make sure just for a minute?" And Boeing are going to look through it and they're going to say, "Yeah, it's good. It's okay. Oh, we found one or two things on it, but nothing serious, nothing to be worried about." It's saving, right? It's saving. How much money do you think is going to be saved on the taxpayer, even if it's only $1 each? That's money that's being saved. The jumbo jet, the Air Force One, is well over 30 years old. It's a Boeing 747. It's pretty much a fortress in the sky. It pretty much is. Did you know that when Air Force One is flying, they fly? I think it's two of the Air Force One. I think there's two of them fly together. Now, one of them is called Air Force One. That's the one with the big man on it, and the other one is a decoy. And they fly both of them together at all times. And sometimes they'll have different dignitaries on one aircraft, and they'll have the boss man on the other aircraft, and they'll fly around the place. And it's kind of like, well, which one is he? I don't know which one is. And I tell you, one of the coolest things is when I was watching. Yes, I am an aircraft nerd. I am 100% an aircraft nerd. I was watching on the app that I have that shows you. Now I've paid for the app. It's an app that I have where when I say I pay for it, there's a free version of it where you can see aircraft flying over. What is the name of the app? I don't even know the name of the app. Let me just go through here and I will look at it. And I can't find it because I am not computer literate when it comes to my phone for getting fast stuff. But yeah, no, it's Air Force or the airline tracker or whatever it is. But anyway, you were able to see. I was able to see some of the no, not Air Force One because you can't see that on the tracker, but you can see a few of the other airplanes that are going over, and you can see them and they're flying along. You're like, oh, that's pretty cool. But the jet is old. We needed an upgrade. Who was going to have to pay for the upgrade? Who? Who was going to have to? You. You and me were going to have to pay for the upgrade because it needs to be upgraded. But now we don't have to because the Qatari royal family said, Uncle Donald, listen, okay, we like you, man. We get on with you. This is how they talk in Qatar. Okay, it sounds very Irish. They're like, we like you, dude. Do you know? How about we give you one of our 747s? Um, on the stream, Braden has said, Odie, the fighter jet air escorts in the Middle East were epic. Yes, they were. Did you see? And go back to the internet. I know I go back to the internet again. Did you see the fighter jets that were escorting Air Force One? Was that not cool? Was that not awesome? At one stage, it was like 10 or 15 fighter jets flying alongside Air Force One. That is pretty cool. Yes, it is. So my thing is, should Donald accept it? Should he have accepted it? Yes, he should. Yes, 100% he should. And take another one. Take another one. And if Donald was to ring me up tonight, Uncle Donald, if you happen to be listening, he could be listening. He could be listening. Good friend of mine, Donald Trump. Never met the guy. No, never met the guy. But Donald, the phone number here, phone number here is 800-905-0989. If you want to give me a spin on it, if you want me to, Donald, I will take a walk around Air Force One for you. I don't mind. I will do that. And I'll meet your good self, and if I could get one of your signatures for something, or if you wanted to, I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to stop you. Or if anybody knows Donald, personally, my good friend Charlie James, he talked to him a few times. Yeah, maybe he can do that. Maybe he could do something. What do you think? Do you think Charlie James would be able to get me Donald's autograph? We'd have a chat with him at least. What do you say? Oh, let's say. Paul McCartney. You're listening to News Talk. I'm waffling. I'm just going off on a rant. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WORD. It is the voice of the Carolinas. Kind of want to go on Air Force One. Say what you want. Oh, John, yeah, man. Oh, I'm sure. No. They'll get the pesticides going through it and spray it all. Here's the thing, actually. So I'm going to Ireland on Tuesday. I'm flying over on Tuesday night. and not flying on Air Force One. Donald, seriously? No, I'm not flying on Air Force One. But I've been told that there's a lot of spiders in Ireland that are starting to bite people. People have a friend of mine was telling me that they got bit on their side here on the what's that, ribs, weeks ago, and it's still kind of. Oh, I don't like spiders. Best of times, I got bitten by a spider years ago. Maybe that's what happened. No, damn it! Thought I could do the thing. Pew 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 pew. Can't do the thing. All right. And now that song is stuck in my head. Say, say, say what you want. Don't leave me, combination. You, what you say? All alone, my phone, I'm waiting for you. Yeah, man. Jet engines are early, like jet engines are nearly 100 years old, like I think in the 30s the Germans were working with jet engines. And you're very welcome back to the last segment of the first hour. Yes, I know. Where does the time go? Don't forget, I am live on the stream as well. You can get me on the Facebook pages, 989 WORD, and my own Facebook page, which is Odi _ Fitzgerald, FITZGERALD. Some people get that wrong all the time. And Odi is spelled ODI. That's it. ODI, nothing fancy, nothing crazy. Lots of messages coming in on the stream. Don't forget, I'm live there. What have we got? Odie, speaking of planes, I have been nerding out about them a lot lately. And there you go. Odie, the first thing I look for is them camel spiders. Yeah, the spiders. They give you nasty bites. Yeah, they're nasty things. Someone else is saying that I never truly understood how early our jet technology has come out. I think it was 1947 or 1948 for the F-80. I think fair enough. I think it was earlier than that, though. I think that we had jet technology was a lot earlier than that. I think it was. I think, and this is a scary thing now. I think jet technology is almost 100 years old. So now you don't get that in the other shows. Oh no. What else have we got on the common sense retirement planning text line? As you know, I was talking a little bit about the sailors who lost their lives, unfortunately, and the fact that we use video phones and that we use them too flippantly at this stage. On the text, it said, "Odie, at first I thought the ship story was made up, but I'm since learning that it is real. I'm glad that I only saw the blurry video." I am too. It's no, yeah, no. It is a horrible thing. Odie, the video I saw showed the mast breaking off on the underside of the bridge. I wonder why they didn't wait for the tide to go out so that they could clear the bridge. The thing is, they were never going to go under the bridge. They were never going to go underneath the bridge. They were never supposed to go underneath the bridge. I think the masts are, I think 179 feet or 180 feet. And I think the bridge is cleared for like 130 feet. So it was never, ever intended to go under the bridge at all. Somebody else has commented in, Odi, $400 million is pocket change compared to what some of these Emiratis, the sheiks, are worth. Yeah, there you go. It is pocket change. It was a gift. And you know what? I'm glad he's going to take it. Glad he's going to take it. I would have taken it as well. I would have nowhere to put a 747 because the airfield close to my house wouldn't be able to. Well, maybe it would. Maybe it would. I must look into that and see if I could land a 747. Can I land a 747 on Anderson Airfield? I don't know. Anderson, the airport down in Anderson? Maybe I can, maybe I can't. Now, here's a topic that hasn't been in the news for a while because it's a little bit made up. What do you think? Common sense retirement planning text line 800 905 0989. I really, really want to hear your thoughts on this one. Global warming. Yep. No, I haven't talked about it in quite a while. I think it was last year on the Pulse when I talked about it last. But apparently, overall, that the Earth is increasing, the heat of the Earth is increasing. And this is primarily, okay, this is what I got off the interweb, okay? This is primarily driven by human activities, especially the burning of fossil fuels, which releases heat-trapping greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, okay? Now, sit right back and I will tell you a tale of dinosaurs way back when. Remember when dinosaurs 65 million years ago they died out? Unfortunately, would I actually like dinosaurs? No, probably not. But see, the dinosaurs were around for quite a bit of time because when the dinosaurs were around, like 65 million years ago, there was already fossils of the first dinosaurs. Okay, so there was fossils under the ground of the very, 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 very first dinosaurs, which appeared about 185 million years ago. The Earth is old, very old. Okay, billions of years, I would say, give or take. The Earth has also fluctuated in heat. We are currently, in the greater scheme of things, just coming out of an ice age. Now, when I say in the greater scheme of things, I think it's a couple of thousand years, like 68 or 69,000 years to be precise, give or take a couple of millennia. Which means that the Earth was pretty much frozen, okay? Because you have woolly mammoths. Remember the woolly mammoths? And you had woolly tigers, and you had the big sloths. They were all woolly. Why were they woolly, do you say? Well, it's because the Earth was freezing cold. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, Odi, that just proves that global warming is happening. Ha. But wait, do not blame cow farts just yet. No. Before the Earth went into a big freeze, which it did, it was warm. It was actually so warm that scientists have now proved that humans would not be able to exist. Not even slightly. Not even half slightly. Because the oxygen levels were so high, the heat was so tremendous that we all would have just passed out and died. We would not have been able to survive. But you're saying, Odi, this happened a long time ago. You weren't there, buddy. I was like, yeah, I know I wasn't there. But the remnants has remained. So, like now, back then, there was trees. Okay? Now, have you ever seen trees? Now, just bear with me for a second. You ever cut down a tree? Inside the tree, you see rings. You've seen the rings of a tree. And your granddad, I guarantee, it was your grandfather who told you that the rings on a tree were the age of a tree. Okay? So if you count from the very center to the very edge, if you count 250, that means that the tree has gone through 250 cycles of growth. And each cycle of growth is 1 year. Now, there is fossilized trees. Fossilized trees have been found. And they're the same kind of trees that we have around, a little bit different. There's a few of the larches and the birches and the sequoias and the giant redwoods. There's a few different types similar to that were around back in the day before the Ice Age, when it was really hot. How do we know it was really hot? Well, because the trees had massive growth rings, which means it was really hot and it was really wet. And then it got cold. And now it's starting to warm up again. And the reason I know this is because of science. But you're saying, but Odi, but science is telling us that the world is getting too hot because of all the people that are living on the world. Now, yes, there is a lot of people. There is 8 billion people on the planet. And that number is growing exponentially. But we're not causing, well, maybe we're adding a little bit to it. But where's Greta? Remember Greta? Remember Greta Thunberg? Where did she go? Did she did she get a boyfriend? Is that what happened? Did she get a boyfriend and she was kind of like, making out under the bleachers, or, talking about global warming? What do I do? What do I do? We haven't heard about her. We haven't heard about her. On the stream, Odi, personally, I think the climate change agenda is a power grab and a corrupt effort for the rich to make more money. Well, you know what, Texter? I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't think that I think somebody decided way back when, they're like, how can we get more money out of people? What if we tell them that the way that we're making power is bad? Well, yeah, the way we're making power is bad and we have to make good power. So let's go with solar power, which, don't get me wrong, I'm all for solar power. I'm all for wind power. I'm all for easier ways to make power. But at the end of the day, we get most of our power. Well, no, I think we get most of our power from nuclear energy. And yes, I know what you're going to say, Odi. Odi, nuclear energy? That stuff will kill you. That's bad for you. Nuclear energy is bad for you. It's one of the safest ways on the planet to generate electricity. It's a safer way. It's a cleaner way. It's a tidier way. And the thing is, we're not really doing too much damage because we've cleaned up our act so much. Yes, we have. We don't use coal fires like we used to. Remember when I was growing up in Ireland? That's all you could smell was fires burning. Did you know in Ireland you cannot buy a brand new house now that has what is it? A fireplace? You can't. Speaking of Ireland, I'm going there next week. I'm talking about that when we come back. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. John, I took care of that one for you, buddy. Yes, there is. It's called turf, Braden. It's called turf, and I don't know what you'd call. It's not really mud. So it's fossil fuels. It's a fossil fuel. So there would have been a forest, and then the forest died, decayed. Um, After the forest decayed, it turned into mulch. So it's full of nutrients, full of energy, and yeah, turf is fantastic. But the thing is with turf now is that it's now illegal to cut it. It's politicians for you. I'll be chatting about when I come back. In the white room with black curtains. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Ding, 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 ding. Hmm. Oh, let's do radio.
And now, now, welcome to Sunday Nights with Odi Fitzgerald. Live conversation and lively debate about what's trending in the Carolinas. This is Sunday Nights with Odi Fitzgerald on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. Now here's Odi.
And you're very welcome back to the second hour of the show. If you missed the first hour, where were you? We were waiting for you. Oh, yeah. Earlier on, we were talking a little bit about the global warming. You see, I love my listeners. I do. Every single one of you. I do. On the stream, somebody just put about 45 or 50 ha-ha-has, and then there's a global warming. Odie, come on. You know it's a joke. Yeah, a little bit. On the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 800-905-0989. Odie, shout out the Kid Flaccid. Odie, man-made climate change was never an issue. There is no real evidence to support it because it is a scam. Yes, it is. Odie, when I lived in California in the 70s, I visited Yosemite and Sequoia National Parks. Did you know that there is signs that say do not stand underneath the trees because if a pine cone falls and hits you in the head, it will kill you? Huh. That comes in from Jim, my buddy Jim in Easley. Yeah, not sure about the pine cones. Possibly. Now, what have I got for you on this one? Yes, that's what I was going to talk about. Do you think that celebrities should keep their opinions to themselves? The celebrities should keep their opinions to themselves. Or should they let them out? Should celebrities just stick to the celebritying? Well, one of the founders of the Ben & Jerry's ice cream, Mr. Ben Cohen, was arrested on Wednesday in Washington after he was interrupted a Senate committee hearing. It was the full Congress, and it was Robert Kennedy Jr. who was talking about Israel's military and the wages against the Hamas in Gaza. And Mr. Ben Cohen, as I said, from Ben & Jerry's, he's 74 years old. He was among a group of protesters that disrupted the Senate Health Committee hearing as Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was speaking. He's the health secretary and promoted President Trump's budget for the next fiscal year. So Mr. Cohen was given out about funding for Israel. Like, here's the thing. This is what I'm. This is something that I'm just kind of like, Should celebrities use their celebrity power to influence people? Let me know. I really want to hear your thoughts on this one. Should celebrities use the power that they have to influence people? I don't think that they should. If they're going to do it, maybe do it the right way. Don't be part of, maybe not be part of a protest. If you want to protest, if you want to do a peaceful protest, but don't interfere with the likes of a Congress meeting or a Senate committee meeting, a hearing. I mean, the protests, they were shouted and they held up signs, and as Mr. Kennedy was speaking before, and it was the Capitol Police officers who had to arrest him. And videos have been posted by Mr. Cohen on social media. There's lots of stuff has happened. And I'm just kind of, should you do it? If you want to protest, do it peacefully. I mean, if you want to protest, I mean, I could protest here tonight. But this is the platform that I could do it. So you're listening there. You're sitting at home tonight, or you're in your car, or you're at work, or you're wherever, and you're listening to the Irish guy waffling. And I could say that, well, I've nothing I want to protest about. I could say that the color green that's used on St. Patrick's Day flags, I think it's too green. No, I'm being facetious. I know I am. But if I wanted to talk about it, I'd come onto this platform. I'd come on somewhere where if somebody wants to hear my opinion, they're going to tune in, they're going to listen. If somebody wants to hear what I'm talking about, they can talk about it. And that's what I'm doing here. Should Ben Cohen, and he's very entitled to his opinion. Remember, this is America where you have the power of free speech. All right. Everybody has the power of free speech. He could go on a radio show. He could go on a TV show and he could talk about it. He was praying for the kids that are in Gaza. And the thing is, we are all praying for the kids on the Gaza Strip at the minute. I don't care what side they're on. There's innocent people being bombed in Gaza at the minute. Gaza is just a complete, it's ripped apart, it's torn apart, it's a complete war zone. Fighting needs to stop. It needs to stop. They need to come to some sort of an agreement. I am not going to give my personal opinions about the Gaza Strip here because I'm not. I'm not going to do it. Because if I say one thing, then I have a lot of people giving out to me. If I say something else, a lot of people are giving out. So I'm not going to give my opinions. People have asked me about here's my opinion about the Gaza Strip. This is my 100% fully honest opinion about the Gaza Strip. They need to stop fighting. They need to come to some sort of agreement. They need to come to some amicable situation. Now, I don't know what that's going to be. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to nail my colors to the mast on this one. What I am going to say is they need to stop fighting. They need to realize that they need to stop. There's too many civilians. There's too many good people being killed. And if celebrities want to help the cause, interrupting a Senate Health Committee hearing is not the way to do it. Yes, I know it's going to get them on the news. It's going to get them on TikTok. It's going to get them on Facebook. It's going to get them everywhere. But it's not the way to do it. It's not the way to do it. Go on TV. Talk about it if you want to go on TV and talk about it. I mean, I've seen Robert Downey Jr. Somebody asked him a question about that, and he just turned to them and said, "What would I know? I'm just an actor." And he said, "That's none of my business." Now, there's some actors. Remember when Donald was going for the presidency? They're like, "Oh, if Donald gets the presidency, I'm going to leave the country, man." We don't care. We don't care what celebrities think. What if I go, like there is now, don't get me wrong, there is some extremely intelligent celebrities out there. There is some very, very well educated people who are working in movies and TV, in lots of different places. I mean, some of the guys that were on The Big Bang Theory, they're very intelligent people. Some of the people that worked on Grey's Anatomy, some of the doctors, I think there was one actual doctor. What's the movie, the Hangover? You ever see the movie The Hangover? Remember the small little guy that's in that? Was it Chen? I think his name was. He's a doctor. He's a fully licensed surgeon. But he doesn't go around. He just wants to make people laugh. He wants to entertain people. When I come back, should the driving test be a little bit harder? Asking the question. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WORD. It is the voice of the Carolinas. Sorry about that, streamers. My phone rang during the show. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. Yeah, no, Brighton, you're good. In the white room with black curtains. And you're very welcome back. Now, just before the break, I was talking about should celebrities stay in their lane? On the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 800 905 0989, it is a resounding yes. Yes, they need to stay in their own lane. They need to entertain us. That's what we're paying them for. Well, the masses have spoken. Odi, celebrities are lost in Hollywood, so they need to stay in Hollywood. Odi, Ben and Jerry's has the weirdest flavor combinations. But I like them. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Give me in the PhD weight loss talk line 800 905 0989 if you want to. But here's the thing. Are you going to stop buying Ben and Jerry's? Are you going to boycott it? Put it out there. Just put it out there. You going to boycott it because of what he did? Or are you going to keep buying Ben and Jerry's ice cream? I don't know. Me personally, I don't buy it anyway. I don't really eat ice cream because I get brain freezes really fast. I do. Yes, I know. There's ways I can get rid of brain freezes. Somebody else on the stream says no, they're not in touch. Most of them are out of touch because they live in situations that are completely different from the average person. There you go. So celebrities need to just stay in their own lane. Do you think the driving test should be harder? Statistics have proven that even though the driving test, I don't know. So I've been driving, I'm 44 years of age, and I've been driving since I was 18. Well, I've been driving since I was a lot younger than 18, but we're not going to talk about that. We'll just say driving in fields in Ireland in an old car is acceptable because you're not on the roads. I've been driving a motorcycle since I was about 4, and I've been driving cars since I was about maybe 10, maybe 11. As soon as I could reach the pedals, reach the pedals, and good because there was 3 pedals: the clutch, the brake, and the accelerator. Yeah, I learned how to drive stick. That's yeah. But should the test be a little bit harder? Even though the test I feel is quite easy, the driving test, the failure rate is quite high. It's 48% of a failure rate. It's quite high. That's here in South Carolina. And I did my test in Ireland. And when I came over here, I done my test when I was 18, passed first time. I came over here to America 7 years ago, and about I think about 6.5 years ago, I decided that I wanted to get my test, get my license. I had a learner's permit. Yeah, I know. I was a 39-year-old, 37 or 30, yeah, 37-year-old guy walking around with a learner's permit. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And yeah, I done my test. I'm going to say this to you. I thought it was extremely easy. I thought the test was very, very simple. And yeah, I've been driving for quite a while. And the instructor, when she was, she was doing her job, and we done we went out on the route or the route, and I done what she asked me. I drove a certain distance. I done a certain parallel park. I reversed. I came this, and I was able to notice road signs. And I came back, and she says, "Okay, Mr. George, follow me back into the test center. You passed." No, okay, thank you very much. And then a couple of years after that, I did my motorcycle test over here, which I'm not going to lie to you. I had great fun doing the motorcycle test. So anybody if you've listened to the show quite a while, you'll know that I drive a BMW R1200 GS. It's the adventure bike. It's it's the one that's built to be rugged. It's the one that's built to be out there, and I have fun on it. It's a great bike, and I like it, and it's easy to ride. And I've ridden it off road many times. I've been to, I think, about 40 or 50 different countries on the bike, and I've been to about 6 different states on the bike because I brought it over from Ireland because I love the bike. And I thought the motorcycle driver's test was easy because it's just, the obstacle course. You're going around in the different positions and you have to maneuver, and it's all about slow maneuvering, which is the hardest thing to do in a bike is slow maneuvering. Anybody can drive it fast. It doesn't take, it doesn't take skill. Well, it does a little bit to drive a motorcycle fast, but yeah. So, I just thought it was very simple. The driving test in Ireland is pretty hard. It is, and it's getting harder. And the European driving test, which I had to do, is extremely hard. A couple of days. Now you were saying, Odi, why are you talking about this? Why are you talking about this? Because as I was coming in on I-85 tonight, I was coming to the studio, some of the drivers, some of the stuff that they do, seriously, you mean driving is not, it's not an impact sport. It's not. On the text line, Odi, yes, I think if you can't drive, this is a pet peeve of mine also. Texter, I'm going to read out your message now in a second. It said, Odi, yes, I think if you can't drive with your dog on your lap, you shouldn't be allowed to drive. Do you know how many times I have been driving on the road and I have seen people with a small dog or a medium dog or a large dog on their lap, sitting on their lap? If you drive with a dog on your lap, you should be ashamed of yourself. I love my dog. All right, I've only got one dog left. Everybody knows Duke passed away last year, and I've got Finn. He's my border collie, and I love him. I love that dog. He's a little bit interesting. I'm just gonna say that, but I love him. But when we're going anywhere, if I'm in my truck, which I pretty much, if I'm going anywhere with my dog, we're in my truck. He's in the back of the truck. Now I have a cover on the truck on the back. Now you can see out there's windows on the cover. You know, the camper beds? I have one of those. And he's in that. And when I didn't have one of those, I had a crate. And my two dogs used to be in their crates where they couldn't distract me. You know, done a little bit of paramedicing for a while. And I came to a road traffic crash. And the guy that was driving lost control because his dog went down into his feet, you know, down into the footwell, and got stuck under the brake pedal. He was trying to hit the brake pedal and he couldn't because he was squashing his dog. Don't laugh. It's not funny. Poor dog. Dog died. But he couldn't hit the brakes. So he plowed into another car. He injured everybody that was in his car. He injured everybody that was in the car in front of him. Because he had his dog on his lap and his dog fell and rolled underneath the brake pedal. Don't drive with your dog on your lap. Seriously, don't drive with your dog on your lap. They make devices that you can put into your car and you can hook onto your dog so that the dog sits in the back seat. Trust me, your dog. Do you drive with your... Should I be asking this question? Do you drive with your child on your lap? Do you drive with your child or your grandchild sitting on your lap? I guarantee you don't. Why? Because you know it's not safe. So therefore, don't be driving with your child on your lap. Odi, yes, I do agree with you. The driving test should be a lot harder. In Japan, they help you lay out your motorcycle on its side on a mattress, and they do the exact same thing in Europe. They do it in Ireland as well. I had to put my bike on the side, and I had to be able to pick my own bike up. I had to be able to lift my bike up. I had to be able to walk around my bike off of its stand, holding onto it with one hand at all times. I can explain. I tell you what, I'll make a video and show you how it's done, and I'll put it up onto the my Facebook page and Word's Facebook page of what you have to do. You have to be able to. You have to know your bike inside out, upside down. The standard of the drivers on the road is terrible. Tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong on this. I think the driving test needs to be a lot harder. Remember, driving is a privilege. You have to earn that privilege. And if you can't drive, if you can't pass, so many people cannot pass driving. Anyway, no. Yeah, somebody's after coming on. Odi, my cat's riding carriers. There you go. Don't So what have we discovered tonight? Well, we've discovered one of Odie's little pet hates. Yeah. Cats and dogs riding up the front of the truck. Don't do it. They don't need to be up there. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WRD. I will help driving. The voice of the Carolinas. Excuse me. So, if you're listening on the stream, I'm just after exploding the text line. Text line has just exploded. Tropical. And you're very welcome back. Now, if you just joined us, I was talking a little bit about uh, not letting animals drive, not letting animals drive, not letting animals be in the front seat of your car when you're driving, sitting in your lap, for instance. And the text line has gone a little bit crazy. Yes, Odie, those people, not going to say the word that was used. Yeah. So apparently, driving tests need to be a lot harder because the standard of driving is terrible and animals need not be in the front seat of vehicles. I agree with all of that. Now, do you? Now, I know I'm delving into the weird here a little bit tonight. Well, listen, okay, so what I'm going to talk about in the last segment of the show tonight is the fact that I'm going to Ireland. I will be leaving on a jet plane on Tuesday evening, and I will be getting to Ireland on Wednesday morning. Because of the old time difference, the 5 hours time difference, and all that kind of fun stuff. It takes a few hours to get there, and yeah, so I'm going to be going to Ireland, and I'm going to be catching up with from some people that I haven't seen in a long time, and some people I've never seen. I'll tell you more about that in a few minutes. But I want to know: have you ever been to Ireland? Have you ever been to Ireland? And what is your lasting memory of it? I'm going to be talking about that in the last segment, so just hang out for a minute or two. I will be talking about that. But now, do you believe in UFOs? A lot of people say that there's no such thing as UFOs, and a lot of people say yes, there is. And the government came out at one stage and said, well, there has been some, UFOs. Do we care anymore? There's been multiple reports have indicated that UFO damaged a US fighter jet in Arizona. It was part of a swarm of mysterious objects buzzing around the US Air Force training ranges. The identified flying objects hit the canopy of the F-16 Viper jet, temporarily grounding the plane. Now, the FAA has released documents that have revealed that there is three more US UAS encounters in the area. Unmanned, no, I don't know what that is. UAS. What's UAS stand for? I remember. I think it's the new word for UFO. Encounters in the area, with some officials speculating that foreign cartels may be using advanced drone technology for spying or for drug smuggling. This indicates that we have been ongoing since January 2020. Involves small, unidentified objects flying in groups at high altitudes near military air combat training. So you've just answered your own question. It can't be a drone because drones can't get to high. Now, yes, they can get pretty high. Yes, they can. But if you have a drone that flies, I have a drone at home, and they say it can fly 5,000 feet. No, I don't believe it, but they say it can. I'm not going to try it because by the time it gets up to that height, first of all, I'll be violating a lot of FAA what are they called, rules. I'll be violating a lot of those, so I'm not going to do that. I know that as soon as it gets to that altitude, that the battery's going to run out and it's going to fall to earth like a stone. It's going to just drop, and then no more drone. And knowing my luck, it will land on the roof of my house, and I'll have to get someone out to fix it. So no, I don't fly that high. And if you are flying your drones that high, then shame upon you. Don't be doing it. Don't be causing incidents with your drones. So it can't be different cartels flying drones at that height because, first of all, a drone is not going to keep up with a fighter jet, not even slightly. Now, a UFO, a vessel that has traveled across time and space, I don't think it'll have a problem keeping up with a fighter jet because it's a UFO. So do you believe in them? Odie, last night around 9:30. Now, hold on a second now. Just before you do, everything that's text in, I'm not going to treat it in any facetious way whatsoever, because I've seen stuff in the sky that I've been like, what is that? I've seen stuff. Now, sometimes it's been comets and meteors and stuff like that, but there's been a couple of occasions. Text come in to me on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 800 905 0989. Only last night around 9:30, I was on my deck looking at the stars, and every now and again you'll see a satellite go by. Last night I saw at least 50 satellites in the same orbit, one after the other. I have never seen anything like that. How do you look into what it was? You can go on to NASA. You can go on to NASA's website, and they will show you every single satellite that has passed over your house in the last 24 hours or 48 hours or throughout time. There is a lot of satellites in the sky now. There is tons of satellites. You go outside, and some people say to me, "Oh, you can't see satellites from Earth." Yes, you can. They look like stars that are moving too fast to be aircraft. You can see them. Go tonight at 10 o'clock. Show's over 10 o'clock. Head on outside onto your patio, onto your deck. Have a little look up, and if the skies are clear, I can't really see from the studio here, but if the skies are clear, which I think they are, skies could be clear. You will see satellites. Now, you will also see some comets, and you will see some shooting stars, and you might see some UFOs. Now, I know what you're thinking. What has happened? What has happened? Our lovely Irish radio presenter, he's gone a little bit UFO-y. See, here's the thing. I don't care what your beliefs are, what you believe in, whether you believe in science or whether you believe in religion. If it was religion, if there was the whole creation thing, then why would a creator just create the planet that we live on and the rest of the planets just for us to look at? He wouldn't have. He would have created more different, different planets, different items, different beings, and different planets. If you go down the route, excuse me, if you go down the route that I like, the scientific route, then you will know that when you look up into the night sky, there is a lot of planets out there. Every sun that you see, every single dot in the sky is the sun. Every single sun has planets, or 9 times out of 10, has planets orbiting around it. There's bound to be life on those planets. Now, some people have said that, it's kind of like the whole Star Trek thing, that a lot of these extraterrestrials won't come to Earth because we're not far enough advanced yet. And then some people have said that they're not even advanced enough to come to Earth because they just don't have the technology. But I'm going to leave that one open to everybody. I'm going to leave that one open. Odi, it sounds like that person that was talking about the Starlink chain of satellites could have been cousin Elon. He's been putting up some Starlink. He's a lot of Starlink stuff going up. So there's satellites on there. A lot of people are saying that I've seen things. I've seen a lot of things. Odi, I was in Yellowstone where there's very little light pollution, and I saw something. Don't know what it was, and I'm a little bit nervous to tell anybody. Tell people. Tell people. On the stream, they're saying this drones. Remember those? Just most of them were military aircraft, not known to be revealed in public. Yeah, Uncle Donald told us about them, about the drones. Yeah. When I get back, we're gonna go full Irish here. Speaking of full Irish, I'm gonna have a few full Irish. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. And you're very welcome back to the last segment of my show this week. It's going to be the last segment of my show for a couple of weeks because on Tuesday, I'm going to Ireland. Yeah, I'm going to reconnect. It's been 5 years since I was in the country. Tried to leave, tried to go over in during COVID times, but I couldn't because of COVID, obviously enough. And yeah, so I like that song. I'm going to let that up for a little minute. It's been 5 years since I've been in Ireland, and I got on my own. Got on my own this time, and looking forward to it. It's not going to be your average normal trip. It's going to be a big one. Now, as you know, you may not. I talked about it on my show about maybe 7 or 8 months ago. I talked about the fact that in Ireland, now adoption, kids can get adopted in Ireland. And as a 6-month-old baby, I was adopted. Okay, so I was adopted. The lady that gave birth to me, what you know how things happen. You know how things happen. And I was adopted. Okay. Up until then, the Catholic Church, because you know how much I love the Catholic Church. Catholic Church were in charge of adopting out children. And you can say what you want. You will not change my opinions about the Catholic Church, not even slightly. I'm not going to get into them because I will get angry. But the Catholic Church decided in their infinite wisdom that once they adopted a child, when a child was adopted through the system, that child was not allowed under penalty of law to know who their birth parents were. Birth parents, okay? That's what the Catholic Church done. Again, don't get me started on them. The government, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, decided, well, look, I think it's time for us to make amends. This is the Irish government now. And they said that there was a lot of Irish people. Now, when I say I didn't know anything about my birth people, I didn't know anything. Nothing. I didn't even know my medical history. I didn't know what, if any, conditions were in my family. Nothing. I didn't know if I came from tall people, short people. I didn't know if there was heart disease in the family, if there was specific cancers in the family. I didn't know any of that because the Catholic Church said, no, we're not letting them know. We're not telling them anything because we're like that. Government decided a couple of years back that, well, we're going to make amends for this. And we're going to give all of the adopted people who were born in Ireland to Irish parents through the Irish system. We're going to find a way that we can reconnect every single one of those people that want to with their biological people. The government decided we messed up. We're going to make amends. We're going to fix it. So me being me, I decided that the best thing to do was to get in contact with the government agency who were put out directly to help people find their biological people, adopted people to find their biological people. And I sent in all my information and any information that I had, which was none, which was zero. And about 7 or 8 months later, they came back to me and they said, hi, Odi, how are you? And I said, I'm fine. Yeah, what you got from me? Well, Odi, it turns out that your birth mother is still alive, which is a good thing. It's a great thing. Oh, and by the way, you've got 3 brothers. I was like, sorry, what now? And they all want to meet you. They all want to talk to you. They all want to reconnect with you. So yeah, 3 brothers and my birth mother. Yeah. So when I go to Ireland, I'm going to Ireland on Tuesday. It's going to be probably the most emotional journey that I have ever taken because I'm going to be meeting obviously the woman that gave birth to me, who I've talked to her. I have talked to the lady many times. Not going to mention her name. She doesn't, she was listening into the show last weekend. She listens. Hello, hello, lady. I'm not going to say your name. She listens into the show because, the guy that she gave birth to is out in America and he's a radio presenter. Yes, that doesn't happen every day. So it's going to be a massive journey. It's going to be eventful. It's going to be crazy. It's something that I never thought would happen. And I'm going to actually physically hug the people that I've never hugged before that met me once. So that's going to be a big deal. And of course, I'm going to be eating Irish food. I've talked about it many times. There is one thing I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be going to my adoptive parents' hometown of Limerick, because it turns out I thought I was born in Limerick. I thought Limerick was my birthplace for many, many years. It turns out that I am from Cork. Many people have learned about Cork, know about Cork, and a lot of people who are listening have been to Cork. And you know that Cork is the capital. Well, it's the unofficial capital of Ireland. There's lots of jokes in there. But I'm going to go to Limerick, and I'm going to be going to a fast food takeaway that has 9 items, I think 10 items on the menu. It's called Donkey Ford's. And I have mentioned it before. I haven't been to Donkey Ford's in 5 years. This is in Limerick. If anybody from Limerick is listening, let Donkey Ford's know that I am on the way. Okay? I am coming and I'm going to be getting some of their battered sausages. Yes, they are sausages covered in batter and deep fried. I will be getting some of their fries, their chips, they're called. Chips. They're going to be covered in salt and vinegar. It is incredibly unhealthy. Ridiculously unhealthy. But you know what? I haven't had it in 5 years. I'm going to be eating it. I'm going to be stocking up on it. I am looking for, I am traveling 3,754 miles just for Donkey Ford's. And of course, to meet up with the people that I haven't seen in quite a while. But yes, I am going to be going. It's simply known as Donkeys. And I'm going to be going there. I cannot wait. It's one of those things. And I will also be having a full Irish breakfast. Now, I've talked about full Irish breakfast before. It has sausages on it, and it has bacon, which we call rashers. And it has hash browns, who are very similar to the McDonald's hash browns. They're bunched together, little triangles. And you'll have some beans on it, and you might have some mushrooms on it. And of course, it's going to have black and white pudding, which, as we all know, is fried pig's blood. Now, some of you were there saying, Odi, don't eat that. Don't eat fries. It is one of the nicest things that you will ever eat. You can eat it cold. You can eat it now after it's been cooked. You can eat it cold. You can eat it hot. I've had it many times. I have had the American version of it. I've gotten it here in America, in Atlanta. There's a place in Atlanta that sells it. Shout out to my buddies at Taste of Britain. But it is not the same. When I come back from Ireland, all the good work that I've done, the 40 or 30, 32 pounds that I've dropped, they're going to be back on me. Here's a funny one. I'm going to be getting an Irish Chinese takeout. It's so much different. It is incredibly different. And I'm looking forward to it. 100% looking forward to it. On the text line, Odi, I'm so happy for you for finding your biological family. And I am proud of you for pursuing it. Well, thank you very much. Texter, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Now, I don't want to squeeze this one in really fast, but I'm going to. You know the way sometimes in life can get a little bit hard, a little bit difficult, a little bit trying, and a little bit, there is always help. There is always help for anybody who asks for help. Remember that if you want help, if you ask for help, help will be provided. If you're going through a hard time in life, you can get in contact with the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. The number and the text number are the exact same. You can ring them on 988 or you can text them on 988. They are only a phone call or a text away. There is somebody waiting to talk to you right now. I finish up the show every single week with this. If you need help, if you need assistance, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline on 988. And if you're a veteran, hit number 1 once you get through, okay? So, I won't be here next week at all because yes, I'm going to Ireland. Yes, I'm going to be meeting very important people to me, and of course my family that are there already. New family, going to be meeting those. Won't be here next week. But make sure you stay tuned. First thing tomorrow morning, Tara, she's going to be kicking off at 6 o'clock. Then you've got Joey, then you got Mike, and then you got Bill Frady, and then you've got my very good friend Charlie James. They're all here. I will talk to you when I get back from Ireland. Slán Awalia. Bye. All right, what have we got? Okay. Thanks, Kevin. You know, I really appreciate it. Good man. John, what have you got? Mobland, never seen it, man. Never seen it. John, there is good fish and chips here. Not just perfect. Not just right there. Anyway, folks, I will talk to you when I get back from Ireland. It'll be in a couple of weeks. So stay safe, have fun, and I am going to delete this message because, well, it's just your opinion, buddy. Yeah. I will talk to you when I get back. Slán Awalia. Bye.